Welcome to chess, ladies and gentlemen. Malignant Young Puck dotting inside my chest, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is me again. It is I. Anyways, I have the round 3 game for you guys between Wesley So and Vidit Gujrathi. I was wondering if I was going to be able to get back on. Oh, okay. Let me do that. That's not what I didn't mean to have the board already up. We'll get to that in a minute. No rush. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get another video done. But yes, here I am. It's like rare. It's like a phenomenon for me to get 4 videos done in a single day. So it's been a very productive day today. So that's nice. But as always, my people in the Philippines, I would say mabuhay to you. Kumusta na? Aking makaibigan. Masaya ko makinig muli. Hello, you lit. Maraming salamat po sa nanonood ng aking mga video. Let me see, it's afternoon. So, maglunch na tayo. Magandang hapon. Appreciate everybody very much for stopping by. Anybody who is coming from India, I would say namaste to you. And dhanyavad for coming by and taking a look at my stuff. Yes. Alright, so if you guys are ready to go, let's take a look and see what we have for the game. So we got E4. E5. Knight comes to F3. We see knight to F6. So we do have the Petrov's defense. It's also known as the Russian game. Yes. So if we back up here, almost always, almost 150,000 games have been played where knight to C6 was the move. And, you know, usually you see bishop to B5. I mean, you can see some bishop to C4 situations coming up. But, you know, knight coming to C6, I mean, it's clearly just defending this pawn here. You know, knight coming to F6 is really like a counterattack. So, I mean, you're basically telling white, hey, man, you're going to get my pawn, I'm going to get your pawn. And, you know, that's pretty much what ends up happening. We got knight takes E5. We got D6. Knight comes down to F3. Knight takes E4. We do have D4. You know, we would love to get in D5 and just make this knight very uncomfortable, but we do have D5 protecting the knight. We got bishop to D3. Bishop comes to D6. Castles by white. Castles by black. We got C4. C6. So it looks a little bit like a Slav. I got Ronaldo. Slav. Be scared. Grr. Whatever. All right, man. So we got pawn takes D5. Pawn takes D5. We got knight to C3. Knight takes C3. Pawn takes C3. And then we have knight down to D7. Rook over to E1. Okay, so as far as these pawns are concerned, I mean, the structure does look a little bit strange. Just a touch strange. You know, you have 3 pawns here. You got these pawns, which are referred to as hanging pawns. You know, for anybody who is not familiar, you know, isolated pawn, hanging pawns. And this is just considered a pawn chain with 3. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world to have the hanging pawns in the middle. You know, of course, you know, if you can ever push C4 and get some type of a trade situation going on, then you do have this pawn that is completely passed. So the future might be kind of bright. And so, you know, both sides are just working to try to get their pieces out. You know, you kind of have to do something with this knight so that you can, you know, get the bishop developed and stuff like that. So we'll see what that looks like. Rook comes to E8. We see rook takes E8, queen takes E8, and then we have queen to B3. Why not attack this pawn? So, knight comes over to B6, you know, getting out of the way of the bishop, but then also giving a protection of the pawn. We see bishop to A3. Bishop takes A3, queen takes A3, and then the moment that you guys all have been waiting for, bishop to G4, and it's the novelty of the game. I know you guys get so excited to see the novelties not playing. Anyways, yes, move 16 for black. Bishop to G4 is the novelty. I'm not sure what was played in the past. I feel like bishop to D7 or bishop to E6 was played. I don't know. But bishop to G4 is the novelty of the game. And, you know, you can always back up. Well, no, I guess you can't back up the bishop because the queen will just take it for free. So don't do that. But, you know, you definitely can't afford to have, like, the damaging of your structure. So we do see knight up to E5. Bishop comes back to E6. We see rook over to E1. Queen comes to F8. Queen comes to B3. We got rook over to E8. We got A4. You know, we're trying to disrupt this knight, and you really can't move your pawn because you're just going to be dropping your knight for free, so you can't do that. We got F6, knocking the knight away. Knight comes down to F3. We see queen over to F7. So, I mean, as you can see, like, black has a lot of, defensive power on D5. We got A5. Now the knight is inconvenienced. Knight comes to C4. We see bishop takes C4. Pawn takes C4. We got queen up to B5. You know, of course, this queen is holding this pawn. So, I mean, you can't just snap it off the board. Rook comes over to C8. And so we just pretty much just redirected all of our defense to the C4 pawn. So we got knight down to D2. We can't quite get to a point where we muster enough pieces to attack. Or, I mean, yeah, to attack the pawn. So we see bishop to D5. Knight comes down to F1. So we're thinking, like, on a good day, you know, we could put the knight here and put a little bit of attack on this bishop. Maybe try to creep our rook in. You know, like Yasser once says, on a good day. We see bishop back to C6, so we get a nice little attack on the queen. Doesn't let white get comfortable. Queen comes over to F5. We see bishop up to D7, attacking the queen. We see queen down to F4. Queen comes to D5. We got rook up to E7. And then we see bishop to E8. And we have reached a point in the game that if you do want to pause the video, and there is a very specific move that white has at their disposal to take advantage of the particular position that black has put themselves in, go ahead and do so. Okay, so, all right, so there, I mean, I think a lot of you guys, and most of you guys, like, if not all of you guys, have seen, like, that there's a checkmate on G7. So you want to move the king over so that you can get some type of checkmate situation, right? But there's actually a right and a wrong way to do it. The right way, which is like the move that you should do, is actually queen to G4. So if you guess queen to G4, congratulations, like you're a genius. And it's just like it's very, very like accurate, because not only are you threatening checkmate, you're also threatening this rook. So you know it's known as a twofer. So it's just a double attack, right? And it can't be defended against because, you know, if you try to like block with bishop to F7 or something, you're going to be dropping your rook. So that's the importance of queen to G4. Some of you guys might have been thinking queen to G3. And queen to G3 is actually completely defendable because, like I said before, you don't have a double attack. So the bishop actually can come and block, and you're not threatening really anything. You know, you're not going to be taking this rook. So, you know, it's kind of like the opportunity was wasted and you didn't get as much bang for your buck. So when you are thinking of making two seemingly same moves, think about, like, is there multiple attacks that you can place with one move over the other? And, you know, you can arrive at, you know, what we had in this game. So Wesley So, being a gangster, you know, Malakas see Wesley So, we saw queen to G4. And it was in this position that Vidit Gujrathi did resign the game. Because like I said, you can't play on. You know, you're either going to get checkmated or you're going to be losing your rook. But you're just going to be down way too much material. And then on top of that, the knight is going to come to E3. And now you're attacking the queen and this pawn. So it is not nice because you have to go bishop to F7. Well, actually, you don't have to. But I mean, you're going to be dropping this rook if you don't. You know, if you have to choose between checkmate and your rook. It's a tough decision to make. But that is that game. So I'm going to go ahead and get these good mornings for all my people in the Philippines. Actually, it's not morning. But I'll do them anyway. Because you never know what time people are going to be watching the video. Or in the future. So, maayong butog, mayad na agahan, 9 bag na bigat, masantos siya kawason, mahe na aga, buenas dias, maayong aga, mapia na uma, kapi and kapano dios, mayapa abak, mayad na aga, mapia agay, mapia kapa pizza, my big abukla, marjan na buntag, marya my not, malpe na aga, kasanyangan si LB, salam, assalamu alaikum, merci to you, danyavad, and maraming salamat to King Makaibigan, po sa nanunuod inga King Mabidia. Makito Tayo Mamaya and Paalam, and I'll see you guys next time.